You open LinkedIn to tweak a job title, and before lunch, an HR partner emails with a perfect interview invite. The logo is crisp. The email domain looks legit at a glance. They reference a project you really did last quarter and even name 2 of your teammates. Your mouse hovers over the attachment, but one detail sticks like a splinter. The message feels a little too informed. Where did they get all that? Today, we're going to unpack how, in 2025, attackers assemble a frighteningly accurate dossier on you and your company using public crumbs, how they turn that dossier into a tailored phish, and what practical habits make their traps fall apart. I'll explain any fuzzy term the moment it appears, like I'm talking to a curious 5-year-old, and I'll keep the rhythm smooth for a teleprompter. Let's go. We need 3 tiny definitions to keep us on the same page. Recon, short for reconnaissance, is the quiet information gathering before an attack. OSINT means open source intelligence, which is a fancy way to say stuff anyone can read on the internet. Social posts, job listings, press releases, demo repos, conference talks. Your attack surface is everything that's exposed to the outside world and could be touched. Domains, public docs, sign-in pages, profiles, even calendar links. Think of these 3 terms like a traffic light. Once you recognize them, you'll know when to slow down, when to stop, and when it's safe to proceed. Let's start with the crown jewel, LinkedIn. If you haven't looked at it through an attacker's eyes, try this. LinkedIn is a living org chart. Who reports to whom, who changed teams, who's on vacation, which vendors you're mentioning, which tools you brag about adopting. An org chart is just the map of who works with who. When you post that your team finally moved billing to a new stack or rolled out SSO with Okta, those aren't just wins. They're hints at doors and locks. A convincing phish writes itself. The director asks you to quickly reapprove SSO for billing, CC's finance, and drops a polished link that looks like your normal login. It feels routine, and that's the danger. Slide to job postings and careers pages without breaking our stride. Job ads are gold mines. A posting that reads, Seeking DevOps with OpenVPN 2.4, 40 OS 6.2, Jenkins 2.x, Azure Migration Q1, is a checklist for a targeted lure. Your team reads requirements. An attacker reads map. When I say attack surface again here, I mean the list of doors you might have left ajar. Ads often reveal software versions, cloud providers, and even URLs to staging portals. That's plenty to build a spot-on email. Your candidate submission is stuck in Greenhouse. Re-authenticate via this link. Or Workday needs a new MFA enrollment. Under deadlines, the brain says yes before the gut can object. Now step into GitHub and other code forges. One word needs a quick, kid-simple definition: secrets. In tech, secrets aren't rumors. They're keys and tokens that open doors. API keys, access tokens, webhook signatures. They sometimes hide in commit history, in .then files, or in a README that should have stayed internal. A 2-minute script can scan a repo pattern by pattern and pull out anything that smells like a key. Add public package registries like npm or PyPI and container registries for Docker images, and you'll see another booby trap: latest. Latest is just a label that claims this is the newest. It's not a promise. If latest quietly points to an old image, someone's nightly build will pull yesterday's code, and an attacker can hijack that behavior with a sham update or a poison dependency down the chain. Take a breath and walk with me into media and talks. 2 definitions. Slides aren't just pretty decks. They're sometimes translucent architecture diagrams where, in the corner, a private host name peeks out. A watering hole is an attack that compromises a place your crowd already trusts, say a conference mirror site. So the malware waits where you're guaranteed to drink. You post your talk. A copycat site pops up offering bonus materials. Colleagues download. Antivirus stays quiet because the payload is wrapped cleverly, and your security team gets a very loud morning. Now, partners and third parties. Third parties are outside services and contractors that can touch parts of your data. SaaS platforms, agencies, managed IT. The weakest link is sloppy multi-factor or none at all, plus a habit of emailing from personal addresses for convenience. If invoices are flying from a free domain and signed A. Patel, that's a prime hook for impersonation. Attackers rarely ram the castle gate when they can unlatch a side gate in the vendor yard. Let's visit everyday social media and small but powerful signals. SIM-swap needs 10 plain words. Someone tricks your carrier into moving your phone number to their SIM. Why? To catch your SMS codes. One Instagram story with a live geotag, boarding soon, and a public phone number in your bio gives the attacker a clear window to strike while you're airborne. They can also flood you with MFA prompts until you tap Approve by Fatigue. That's called MFA fatigue. Too many nudges, one wrong tap. Pivot to internet-wide scanners, Shodan, Censys, FOFA. Don't worry about the brand names. They're like Google for exposed devices. They index services, TLS certificates, ports, the what's sticking out list. Old VPN gateways, forgotten subdomains, admin panels left at default. Combine that with job ad version info and an attacker knows exactly which crack to probe first. Public docs and calendars are the next room. A quick definition. Anyone with the link is the sharing setting that means literally anyone with the URL can view. It's perfect for emergency approvals. It's miserable for privacy, especially when links circulate in chats and land in search. From those docs, attackers can pull project names, private emails, Zoom links, even internal nicknames that later show up in eerily specific lures. Press and conferences deserve a tiny scene of their own. You give an interview. You say one precise product name because it's shorter than a generic description. An attacker stitches that quote to your LinkedIn post, a 6-month-old job ad, and a GitHub demo, and emails you. This is the Daily Ledger. Quick clarification on your SSO cutover for our piece. One sentence, and we're set. When you read your own words in a clean email, your brain bows to plausibility. Now, the quiet marketing tail, email auth and domain lookalikes. DMARC, SPF, and DKIM are the house rules that say, mail from us is signed by us. Reject fakes. If they're not strict, impersonation gets easy. Then there's typo-squatting, registering a domain that looks just like yours, but with one swapped letter. In the inbox at a glance, it's convincing. In a browser bar, it's already an ambush. Data brokers and old breaches are the next layer. A data broker collects and sells facts about people, phones, addresses, social links, family ties. Some sources are legal, some gray. Attackers don't care. They use those facts to answer security questions or craft messages that feel uncomfortably personal. If you ever used your mother's maiden name or exact birth date as a reset answer, that's a shortcut for account recovery abuse. Add a 2025 twist, OSINT automation with AI. An agent here just means a bot that can browse, cross-reference, and write. Modern agents crawl LinkedIn, GitHub, press mentions, job ads, build a relationship graph, copy your email tone, and draft outreach you'll want to answer. This is not a template blast. It's your language, your topics, your rhythm. That's why our defense isn't spot the typo. It's a different tempo. Pause, switch channels, follow rules you prepared on a calm day. Here's a crisp attention hook to pocket for later. If IT support calls right now, asking for a code because the report will fail in 60 seconds, don't debate. Don't perform. Say one sentence. I'll do it after we confirm in our second channel. And hang up. What just happened? Not expertise, not instinct, choreography. One step, one line, one safe transition. Let's place the antidotes exactly where they matter most, and I'll translate terms on the fly. On LinkedIn, the rule is simple. Share fewer sensitive specifics about internal tools and access. Sensitive specifics means exact system names, versions, and vendor combos. delay vacation posts by a few days. On job ads, favor abstractions. Say enterprise-grade firewalls, not 40OS 6.2. Say directory migration, not Azure AD Q1. On GitHub, turn on secret scanning in CI. Scrub history when you've leaked a key. Stop using latest as a crutch, and sign your releases. Signing just means stamping an artifact with a cryptographic, "Yes, this really came from us." For public docs, switch off anyone with the link. Move to view only where possible. Regularly audit old links and invalidate CDN previews. A CDN is a delivery network for static files. If an old preview image keeps living there, search engines will happily hand it to strangers. For email, set a strict DMARC policy. P is reject. Keep SPF and DKIM clean and monitor for lookalike domains. If that sounded like alphabet soup, remember the spirit. Our mail should be signed. Fakes should be refused. For data brokers, opt out where you can and change password reset answers to nonsense phrases that live in your password manager. A manager is just a vault. You memorize one vault key instead of hundreds of different passwords. For the scanners, everything exposed should be either patched or off. WAF is a web firewall. Deny by default means everything is closed unless we said otherwise. In practice, this becomes a habit. If you're not sure a service must face the internet, it doesn't. If a device is old and risky, update it this week or retire it. Another small hook to keep you sharp. The sound of security is a click when a Docker image uses a specific digest instead of latest, so a build can't accidentally drift. It's the silence when a dead page returns a 410 gone. This is officially gone. And search drops it faster than a generic 404. It's a clean bounce when an unsigned email hits your DMARC wall and never arrives while you're pouring coffee. Let's talk behavior. We overrate smell tests and underrate muscles. Real defense isn't a witty phone debate with a fake CFO. Real defense is never debating at all, moving to a second, pre-agreed channel every time the stakes are high. That second channel might be your corporate messenger, a saved phone number from the official site, or a tiny code phrase you rotate each month. A code phrase is two boring words like Mint 12 in October and North 07 in November. It's not for drama, it's for pressure. You don't analyze under stress. You match the phrase and move. Two more tiny terms, then a story. Logs are the event journal. Who logged in from where, what changed. An alert is a gentle ping that says, this looks odd. Logins from countries where you have no staff, a sudden storm of reset password emails, or a new app asking for OAuth access to your inbox at a suspicious time, those are early claps. Your reaction shouldn't be heroic. It should be predictable. Freeze the session, verify out of band, rotate keys, notify the team. In plain English, tap the brakes before the car slides. Imagine, morning. You post on LinkedIn. Billing migration is finally done. Midday, an email lands from a vendor with a PDF new invoice and a link to update your payment profile. 5 minutes later, a journalist DMs you on X asking for a 10-word quote about the migration, deadline today, huge piece. Somewhere between those, a calendar hold appears in Gmail with a link invite to test the new billing portal. These aren't 3 coincidences, it's one script. Composed from your post, last winter's job ad, an old demo repo, and a conference Q&A. What breaks the script isn't cleverness, it's choreography. You say, I'll confirm in our second channel. You open Slack or Teams, you drop your code phrase, and you get either a prompt confirmed from a real colleague or silence from a fake. You check the invoice domain, DMARC fails, you mark it and move on. You open calendar from your account, not the email link, and there's no event. You didn't beat the attacker in a duel. You declined to duel. 2 honest truths before we land. First, you can't erase every trace. The internet remembers, but you can make those traces unhelpful. Don't put versions and vendors where they're unnecessary. Don't leave public link toggles on for documents that should live only with participants. Don't rely on latest where reproducibility matters. Don't respond in the same channel that's pressuring you. A system of small rules beats a belief in heroic instincts. Second, leave yourself a small, memorable playbook. Notice urgency, add time, move to a second lane. See a lookalike email, check the signature and the domain. Find a public doc, turn off anyone with the link, and clean the preview trail. Visit a repo, enable secret scanning, remove latest. Edit a job ad, say categories instead of keys and locks. It sounds boring. That's the power. Boring is a shield here. Once your rules are set, the attacker's script loses its drama. Those perfect emails start feeling oddly empty. They miss because the target now moves on a path the attacker didn't design. That's your new normal, and it's a very comfortable one.